ridiculous thing. No, that's not true.
It's not
Racism is the most
ridiculous at
ridiculous
all.
thing you believe.
It's ridiculous to think that you live on a ball floating in outer space and you've never seen it before, but you believe other people.
The first thing I said to you was like 3 examples of times that I saw there.
Oh, it's not.
Oh, that's easy to say. Just like no.
No, but
You
you
can
don't. I
always
gave
say
you
no to
evidence.
someone.
I gave you evidence. This
You
is
gave me laminated
I
paper.
don't know what that is.
this is your math right here. They measured the Earth.
My math.
My math. I didn't.
Bitch, I'm bad at math.
You have to believe
Math
it.
is
If you believe in
universal.
government, you have to believe it.
If I believe in government, do I have to
You have to
believe
believe.
in
You have
a
to. If you
calendar?
believe you live here, you have to believe that.
When did I say believe in government?
Bye.
How
Bye.
about today? I hope it gets better from here.
I know. Oh, Noah, you're such a good conversationalist.
I'm
If you
trying.
believe you live here, it has to have a measurement, Noah. That's it right there. We see things too far. Your Earth is not a ball, man.
What was your name again?
Joshua.
Joshua. I'm Cody.
Cody, what's up?
At the end of the day,
Mhm.
say all of this is true.
Yep.
Now what? Now what do we
Now we can get off of all of our problems about who we are, who's better, who's worse, this or that.
Well, we
because
don't have to
Earth
now
is
do that.
flat.
Well, how does that correlate?
It correlates because we're all part of the same human 5 fingers on each hand.
Well, we still are if the Earth is wrong.
No, we're not, because the Earth is not a ball in outer space. Evolution is not real.
So,
That's the crux of everything about evolution, is the Big Bang and the ball Earth
So
on
that-
outer space.
Can I bet your
so,
dog?
so Joshua,
Yeah.
So Joshua, so I have to accept that the Earth, I have to believe that the Earth is flat before I take care of any personal problems in my life, right? That's what you just said.
Everybody running the show and all of the narratives that you see on TV, whether you
I
agree
don't
with
watch
them or
TV.
not,
I don't watch
okay,
TV.
well, whatever. This place was founded on flat Earth,
Mhm.
and then they teach you the ball Earth.
But what's the benefit in knowing
They also
that
taught us
that the Earth
racism
is
doesn't
flat?
exist.
Yeah, well, the
What
point.
what I'm Josh, what I'm trying to get to is believing in all of this.
Mhm.
What is the end goal to how does this benefit your life personally?
Can you let me finish, right? Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
How does believing that the Earth is flat benefiting you at all right now?
Okay. So when you grow up here, we are taught one thing, and everybody has to agree with it so we can all get along, so we don't have, people being mean to each other. So we just all like, okay, you know what? He did this. Okay, yeah, I'll just let that slide. I'm not going to get after him about that. We just let things just kind of go on and carry on. But things of this nature that are important, like flat Earth, are there and available for you to look into.
You're not answering the question.
I am answering.
How is this
You're not even
benefiting-
giving me 60
You've
seconds to
already-
respond.
You've already said.
You're not giving me
well,
60
people have
seconds
been
to.
brainwashed, blah blah blah. I get that, but I'm asking Joshua, how is this personally affecting Joshua beneficially by believing that the Earth is flat? You're just saying, well, people out there, a lot of us, were brainwashed and we believe this shit is round, but it's actually flat. So after we believe it's flat, then it's like, no. I'm asking you, Joshua, how is believing, what is beneficial, what life benefits are you gaining by believing that the Earth is flat?
I
Go
know
ahead.
the truth about where we live. As a human being, as somebody who has consciousness and can think rationally, I cannot be subverted by trickery about where I live anymore. When an alien invasion from outer space comes, I won't fall into it.
So the benefit is you're not going
To have information.
So the benefit is you won't be tricked ever again mentally. correct?
No, in regards to this specific thing about where we live,
That's the only benefit that you're getting.
information, knowledge.
Just knowing that the Earth is flat. That's the only. I mean, that's not a benefit.
It is a benefit because
that you believe the Earth is
Because
flat.
everything I do, I know what I'm doing it on. Everything everybody else does around here, unless they think the Earth is flat, they think it's happening somewhere that it's not.
Who benefits?
That is a massive dichotomy.
Who benefits from the mass ignorance, and how do they benefit?
They benefit by everyone believing in a lie and not investigating it themselves.
How do they benefit materially from me believing the Earth is round? rather
You
than
pay
flat?
them your tax money and you help them live their life.
But
Do you
why
work
would
every
they
day?
pick this lie?
I don't know. Huh?
Why would they pick this lie?
This is the ultimate lie. It's about everything. It's about where you live and where you come from.
And you disconnecting from reality makes you a dupe to everything. If you can't accept like objective reality.
Oh, okay. How have you proven yourself that the Earth is a ball?
See, that's the thing. This is just
Oh, okay.
what you are is
Got
a
it.
Nazi troll.
Oh, a
You're
Nazi
using
troll?
Flat Earth conspiracism.
I'm a Nazi?
You're a fascist troll. There are white
Did you know that
people and there are
NASA came
Jews.
from Nazis?
There are white people and there are Jews. That's
Yeah, there
a
are.
fucking Nazi coded language if I've
yeah,
ever heard
and
it.
you know,
No,
that is so
that's
true.
literally what it
That
is.
There are
so true.
white people and there are Jews. That's
That is
fucking
so-
Nazi
that is
coded
so
language
true.
like I've never heard
Oh,
it, and I
okay.
know what you're fucking doing.
That is
You
so
do?
true.
Yeah.
Okay, what am I doing?
I don't know if you know, but I
Do you know?
Hey, and guess what?
Do you know what you're
trying to
doing?
normalize racism.
Yeah, you're normalizing.
Do you know what
racism.
you're doing?
You're
Joshua,
trying to give
you're
racism a
normalizing
voice.
racism.
How am I normalizing it?
Because you know when you asked that sister, no, you didn't ask. You told her this sister, this black lady that was standing here. You told her that well, even if it wasn't for black people selling other black people doing slavery.
Yeah, if it wasn't
then there
for
wouldn't be no
Asians
black
selling
people
other
up here.
Asians
But
That
and
is bullshit,
Hispanics
because
selling
white
other
supremacist
Hispanics.
ideology was developed in North America to rationalize enslavement in North America. So whether or not African people ended up selling people to slave traders on the continent, white supremacist ideology, which is what's still fucking us all over right now, was
It is.
conceptualized and implemented in North America.
It was.
So your little red herring, counter historical fact is bullshit and stupid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're a fucking Nazi troll.
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
and
And
Josh-
NASA comes from Nazis.
And
Nice
Josh-
work, bud.
The U.S. government is fucking fascist Nazi shit too.
So,
So you telling me that the United States government is evil too doesn't prove a fucking point.
so why are you still here?
See,
Because I was born here.
Exactly.
and
And
I
you
was
just
trying to-
love just like
You're a
the
fucking
garbage
Nazi
here.
fascist.
Yeah, so are you.
Josh,
I can call you names
Suck my
too,
dick.
if you had one.
Joshua.
I wouldn't be able to.
Joshua, are you still
If you had a
depressed?
point,
Are you still a
you
depressed
think of something
person?
other than just calling
I'm
someone what
being
they call
serious.
it.
No.
I ain't trying to bullshit. Are you still a depressed person right now?
I mean, I'm
Because-
sad about the state of affairs here, but
No. I'm asking you personally.
What I am
But-
has
no,
nothing to do with you. I don't have to give you
No.
my medical anything.
So
I don't
you're
have to
still
tell you.
depressed. Okay,
Oh, I
you're
am?
still
Okay.
depressed. You're
Yeah,
still
whatever.
depressed.
I don't have to tell you
Dude,
anything,
Josh,
dude.
I know you're okay. You're around my age, and I know how it is to be depressed, and then on top of that, you think that you have such low self-esteem. I'm not saying this is you. I'm just talking about me and the shit that I'm going through right now. I'm still coming out of being a man of shame because I'm thinking, oh, I don't have enough money. I'm not a real man. I don't do this. I'm not a quote-unquote real man or whatever, the materialism, all that bullshit. Now I've accepted the fact that these are the circumstances that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
I just came out of homelessness. I've been homeless for over 5 years. I just came out of that shit. And I'm in some community housing. So I'm accepting my quote-unquote imperfections. Well, I'm going to say, imperfections, and also the circumstances that I came from and that I'm in right now. And I own that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel much better. And I'm more confident in myself just being me, and expressing me. And what I'm saying is, Joshua, is that you can continue to believe the flat earth stuff all you want to. I don't care. But what I'm here to tell you is I know that there's a hint of you, at least in there, that still is depressed, and you still feel as if a lot of people do not accept you for who you are as an individual. Because you notice when I kept asking you as an individual, as Joshua, how is this benefiting you? How is this benefiting you as an individual? You could not give me an answer except by saying what other people are thinking, and then you came back around to saying, well, this is a benefit by me just believing in it. But it's like, okay, so that's the benefit, but that's not a benefit. What benefits you from believing in this? You did not give me an answer. So what I'm hearing from you in a conversation that we had over there, because and part of the reason why I remember that so well is because shit, man, I think this dude is really hurt as an individual. He probably don't have much or any friends. He doesn't feel as if he's accepted by many people, and he feels himself to be like some sort of an outcast. So when he does stuff like this, this raises his self-esteem up to some degree, and he feels as if, he thinks he has the truth. He feels as if he's a better person by doing it. So I think, damn, that's probably why he comes out here every time, because he feels as if he has something going for himself. And and what I'm saying is, serious, I'm not fucking with you here. You really have got to get some help or to acknowledge that, or coming from my experience, accept that you are depressed and accept that you are feeling any other kind of way. I don't know, because you're not telling me anything. But
Well, we're out in public here.
But I know you're hurting inside to some degree. I know that you can't hide that from me. I know that. And what I'm saying is, accept that you're not feeling good, or accept that you have low self-esteem and that you don't like doing something, or you don't like yourself for it. Accept that. When you accept that, you're accepting the truth about yourself, and you're gonna feel much better. But I will say this: one of the challenges is going through that shit, feeling, going through the motions of, oh man, I'm not worth anything, I'm not worth much, or whatever it may be. Going through all of that, it's tough, but you can do it. And I'm coming from the heart. I'm not saying this to fuck with you,
I appreciate
or
that.
to embarrass you or anything like that. But I know part of the reason why you're out here like this, and it's because you feel as if you don't have anything else going for you, and this right here brings attention to you.
To
by
me or the
strangers,
topic?
To you personally.
You found
It's
your
not about.
community.
It's not about
You
me.
found your community.
What if it's not about me?
You
It's
found-
about
you
the
found- forget,
topic.
Fuck about the whatabouts. I'm talking about you. I'm getting right down to the heart of it. I'm talking about you and me. That's what I'm talking about. And I can see that hurt. I can sense that hurt on you.
Can I give you an example? If I were to stop doing this and you didn't see me out here anymore, would you assume I'm not depressed anymore?
No, I don't know what you're doing, but what I hope you do, whatever problem or problems or issues internally that you're struggling with, and that
Yeah, I want people to stop
that
believing in
you-
lies.
that you accept or don't accept or whatnot. I'm just hoping that I'm hoping that you take care of yourself.
I appreciate
That's
yeah,
all, and
thank
I
you.
really mean that with
I hear
genuine.
I hear
concern.
your voice and I appreciate that.
Because you say you're 40, I'm 38, so
Yeah.
you're 2 years older than me. And I've never had owned my own place ever until now. Well, not owned, but just rented. So I'm just now starting out with renter system. And economically, I have economic anxiety. I've only just started making over $16 ever in my life, just this summer. And I'm 38 years old, almost 40. So, but I've accepted that, and I know I'm not the only motherfucker out here that's experiencing economic depression and all this other bullshit that we've been taught that we have to do. No, we don't have to do any of that shit. So, for one, I do like that people think for themselves and that they be their own person. That's what I encourage. But you doing this, you do you. I don't care what with this. You can be out here all. I don't care. But what I do care about, and is that you do take care of those internal issues that's going on with you. And you can do it, but it's going to be tough. But you can do it, whatever that may is. But I know you're dealing with some shit similar to what I've dealt with, or even more, or maybe less. But I can sense that on you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to say you're not lying, but yeah, there is a part of doing this that talking about flat Earth connects me to people because it's globe Earth, flat Earth. Regardless, it's where we live, and so we take it very personally.
And you've got your community and other people.
So I mean, it's not like just because there's the majority of people that walk by here and make fun of me, the majority watching, and where I'm going to be going in October, there'll be hundreds or 1,000 people there that agree with me and appreciate what I do.
Well, that's fine. And I'm gonna say this right here. When this comes about the racism, a number of white people, and I tell white folks, I don't give a fuck about white people's feelings talking about racism. I don't care if you're uncomfortable. Fuck white people's feelings. Straight up. Racism does exist. And I'm telling white folks now that want to hold on to being racist, or they just want to be oblivious to it and they don't want to talk about it. Y'all don't have to be that way. Because if you really want to get along with people who don't look like you, you're going to have to accept the realities that's within this world when it comes to people of color and people who don't think like you and don't look like you. That's just the reality. And if you refuse to accept that reality, just like accepting the hurt that's in your heart and knowing that you have to do something about it, if you reject the reality that racism exists, you're going to continue to perpetuate systemic racism. And see, us black people, we're going to continue to have every goddamn reason to hate white people as a whole, because a number of you all are deciding not to even investigate as to is racism still existing or is it not? Let me see. Let me talk to some other people. And I promise you, Joshua, you're going to get much farther ahead if you can deny that racism exists, but if you at least have that curiosity of, does it exist? Why do black people keep talking about this shit? It annoys me, but wait a minute. I don't know everything. Let me see what they're talking about. And I may have judgments about where they're lying, they're the most violent people, they're full of shit, blah, 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 whatever. You can have those emotions, but if you work through those emotions by listening to other black people and brown people and people of color, when talking about race and talking about white supremacy and slavery and all this bullshit, police brutality right now, that's going on right now, you're going to be much further ahead than a number of these white folks who keep talking about, oh, we're all the same, you know, but we're so divided than last time and all that. You're going to be one of those white people. If you continue to do that, you're going to be one of these white people that's going to be around a bunch of people of color, and you're not going to know how to handle yourself. You're going to be thinking, damn, this country used to be predominantly white. Oh my goodness, shit is changing. Oh my goodness. But then you want to continue to believe, but we're all the same, and you're only saying that just to deny that racism exists so you can remain comfortable being in a white supremacy society as a white person. So
so this is what I think should happen, because I'm a flat earther.
Can't wait.
Is see this, there's a lot of blue over here. I think there's more land. I think there's more land bigger than Africa, North America, Antarctica, and I want to get all my black, white, Asian, Hispanic friends who look so much more different than me and go to that country.
well, why not just restart?
Because we
something here?
can't. I don't want to live here in this country and start something new.
Where are your
because
black
of all the stuff.
Where are your black friends though?
They're flat earthers
Well, where are
here in America.
they? Where are they? How come they're not out here with you?
Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas. You want me to name off the whole alphabet?
And how often do you talk about personal things, like shit that's actually personal?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
But yet you won't talk to me.
The
Well, yeah,
majority
but
of my black friends who are flat earthers know that Black Lives Matter and Antifa are government psyops.
And see, see, you don't even know what BLM stands for. And
I do.
BLM, what does BLM stand for? What do they
Well,
stand
it's
for?
the narrative of Black Lives Matter,
No,
right?
what do Black Lives Matter stand for? Do you
What does that
know?
mean to you?
No, hold on.
okay, sorry.
No, what do Black Lives Matter, what do they mean? What do they do?
I don't
what is their
understand.
mission? What is their mission?
organization,
As an organization.
As an
what is their
organization?
mission? Yes.
Oh,
what is
it's a
their
Marxist organization.
mission? No. What is their
It's
mission?
a Marxist organization.
No, what is their mission? Do you know what their purpose is in this society? What is their purpose in this society based off Black Lives Matter? What is their mission? What is their purpose?
I feel like he's saying it's a Marxist organization. It's kind of a cop out for saying.
It's not, though.
I mean,
No.
What does that mean then?
But yeah, no,
I mean-
Joshua.
Can we? Are
What
we?
the- hold on,
Do we
hold
all
on,
know
hold
the
on.
foundations
That's a good
of
question. That's a
the
good question.
founders? Do we know the founders?
Joshua,
so we're not gonna
Joshua, let's
talk
not
about the
change.
founders.
Let's not change subjects here.
We're not
What
changing
does-
subjects. We're talking about the
Joshua,
organization you're
Joshua,
talking about. Who
What
runs
is the
it?
mission? No. What is the mission of Black Lives Matter? Tell me right now.
Simple question.
Simple question.
I don't know your slogan. What it is that you want me to
Okay,
say.
in the name!
So,
What does
No, it's
Black
not.
Lives Matter mission? What is Black Lives Matter's mission in this society right now? Go ahead.
to try to get equal rights for blacks, acknowledge the racism and the police brutality that's going on, and that's generally
And
the
you consider
idea.
those good things, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, nobody. I don't want to be harassed by the police because of what I look like or what I wear.
Mm-hmm.
I went to church and I wore jeans and a shirt. And you go into a church and then they're like, no, you have to look and dress this certain way to be a part of this group, or you can't be here.
Is that the most you've been
Black
impressed?
Black Lives Matter. You're close. You're pretty close. Black Lives Matter is about eradicating white supremacy. Point
Okay.
blank. But
So
those
what do
things that you just those
you
things
think
that
it's
you just
gonna
said,
happen
that is
through
true.
a government
Those
organization?
things that you just said is true. But that is
You
true
can't
what
be
you just said.
you can't be real and think that
That-
that's going to
that's-
happen
that's-
through a government
but
mainstream
I
organization.
didn't ask about all that. What I
Okay.
said was that is the purpose of Black Lives Matter. But the things that you just said, that is part of Black Lives Matter. So what you just said out of your own mouth, those are good things. Now, since those are good things, those are good things that's going to help create equality amongst everybody. Now, you keep saying, I want my black friends, Asian friends, wherever they are, to be on this landmass right here. But how can they truly be your friends if you don't even agree with ending police brutality, ending racism, ending white supremacy?
Because we're talking about
No, no, no,
apparently
no.
two different
How-
types
how
of
can
people.
you- how can you be
We're
their
talking about
friends?
two different
How
types of
can you
people.
be their friends? How can you say that they're your black friends and Asian friends, and you don't even believe that white supremacy exists? But
'Cause
yet
they
you
don't.
want, but yet you want to continue to
'Cause they don't.
perpetuate that doesn't even exist. And see, what you're doing is they're not your friends. They're
They're
not
not?
your friends.
Oh,
They're not
okay.
your friends. You're just saying
Don't
that
have
they're
any
your
friends?
friends just so you don't have to deal with talking about racism.
I
You're
talk about
exploiting-
racism all the time. If it's needed.
Your proximity of your proximity of people of color does not equate your love of people of color.
Oh, got it. Okay, so you
Exactly.
really pegged me. It seems like you're creating a broad brush on me just because
No, I'm not.
of the color of my skin,
Oh,
and you
no,
don't
I'm
know
not.
me
You're not a
personally.
victim.
Based
You're
on
not a
what
victim.
you have told
You
us.
are
Neither
not
are you.
a victim. You are
Neither
not
are you,
oppressed. You are not oppressed for me just saying that to you. You're not.
I'm
you are
not. You're right. I'm
oppressed.
not. I don't
And you are
don't
not
claim to be a
victim.
victim, and I
And
will
you are
never
not
claim to be a
but
victim
you
about
know,
anything.
You're not a victim in this situation, but guess what? There are victims. So this whole thing, when I hear white men say you're not a victim, bullshit. There are victims out here, and you know where that
Why
comes
is it
from?
that all these?
Oh,
Why is it that other people
you know where that comes
succeed?
from? You know where that comes from? That comes from a place of fear. Because a lot of these white motherfuckers out here, these white men, the reason why, this is just my theory, and y'all can tell me if I'm wrong on this. A number of these white men out here talking about, oh, you're not a victim, stop playing the victim, and they're just they're victim shaming people. That comes from a place of fear, because in their minds they're thinking, oh shit, my white ass can be taken out just like anybody.
Is that what it's all about, though?
Just like
It's just
anybody-
killing
oh,
people.
It's just
Oh,
like,
it's all about killing
my ass
people
can
and,
be-
and verbally and physically
anybody-
assaulting them because
my
they
white
don't
ass
agree
can
with
be
you.
taken out just like
That's what it
anybody
always
else
comes
on the
down
street. I
to.
can become
Shooting.
poor.
They're shooting.
My white ass can become poor. I can end up on the street just like anybody else. So what I'm
You're
going
right,
to do
you could.
is deflect and say, no, I'm not a victim. I want to try to control everything.
Isn't that-
You're
isn't
not
that-
a victim either, because I don't want, as a white man, I don't want to deny the reality that shit
I
can
didn't
happen
do
to me
anything.
just like anybody
I'm not.
else, and
I'm not
afraid of
gonna.
that.
I'm not gonna take
Am I-
responsibility for something that I didn't do, man.
Okay.
I'm just not gonna take responsibility for
who's
something I
shooting?
didn't do.
Joshua, who's shooting?
Yeah.
So, it always comes down to
shooting?
being violent against somebody else
Okay,
because
if
they
it
don't
comes down to
like
violence,
you.
who's shooting?
Then what are you talking about taking somebody out then? What does that mean? Taking
Oh,
me
I'm
out to
sorry.
McDonald's?
I'm
We're
sorry.
going to
I'm sorry.
McDonald's?
I'm sorry. When I say get someone taken out, part of me was like, getting shot.
Yeah, exactly.
But it wasn't. You didn't do nothing wrong.
Exactly.
But also,
it always comes to violence.
Oh no, not just violence, but poverty. I did mention poverty, economic injustice. I just mentioned those
Oh,
things.
how about-
So it's not just violence.
How about the government propagating a vaccine
Controlled
to
by
all
white
the
folks.
minorities?
Controlled by white folks.
Exactly. I'm not going to get it.
Yeah, controlled by white folks.
So why would I not get it? I thought I'm white. I would
we
want to
talking
get
about
the
the
vaccine.
vaccine?
Get what?
The vax, the
Are
COVID
we
vax.
talking about the vaccine?
Yeah. So I'm white. Why don't I want to get it? I thought I'm white and I just love government. I
We're
want to
not
get
talking
the
about
vaccine.
man.
We're not talking about the vaccine.
We're not talking about the flat Earth anymore.
No, but why is it that we have this idea that we're separate, but it's really the government that hates everybody?
Well,
Do
So
they hate
the
everybody
government
equally?
the
do they
government
hate everybody
hates
equally?
everybody.
But do they hate everybody equally?
They create narratives so that then that people can fight amongst themselves.
Who did they create narratives against?
Yeah.
Everybody.
Against you personally?
Weaponized. Yes.
Bullshit.
Movies, history,
Movies.
agendas.
Movies.
It's
That's
all
some white
against
people
you.
shit.
History is fake. Everything about history is fake.
Oh, but Joshua, let me ask you this one question relating to that, to the hatred and whatnot. Do you mind uniting with other people, like with black people, Asian people?
If they wanted to.
No. But but united for what?
United for what?
Yeah. I'm asking you. Would you want
To
unite?
create our own, if needed, because of resources, create our own sovereign nation in America.
No.
Okay.
In
Then
America.
what are your suggestions?
So that's where you want.
What's your suggestion?
Well, no. That's a good point. So you want black and brown people to unite with you to create sovereignty in this. How does that look like? How does the sovereignty in this country look like?
Everybody provides for each other, and we all live in like an environment where we grow. If you're particularly good with crafts or like your hands, then you're a mechanic. You go over to this group. If you're good with, things of science and that nature, you go over there. And if you're good with cooking and whatever, you're part of that.
And who
You're
decides
the head.
rules? Who decides the rules?
Hey man, we could all
White
decide
man's
that.
property?
Authority.
I'm
It doesn't matter.
Joshua,
If you're the best at what you can, you prove it, and
I
then
didn't
you're
ask
the
that. That wasn't
headmaster.
the
It doesn't.
question I
It
asked.
doesn't
I
matter
asked
what
you-
color
I
skin
asked
you
I
are.
asked you who will decide the rules.
We would all decide the rule. Maybe we'll just pick the oldest male and the oldest female, just for starters.
Oh, so now we're going to be ages now, right?
Well, I mean,
Not
you
fair, trying to
asked.
say like tribal.
You asked, so I
You
gave
said
you an
you come up
Like a
answer.
tribal culture.
Like a tribal culture. But
Sure.
but despite the age, despite the skin color.
If you're
you
the
mean
best,
to-
if
no,
you
no, no,
suck
no,
at
no.
what you do,
No,
then
no,
you're not doing that.
I'm not talking about sucking. I'm talking about making the rules. Exactly.
Yeah.
I ain't talking about whether you're good or bad at something.
Yeah, if you're-
I'm talking about making it doesn't matter what skin color and
No.
what age, right?
For me, no, it doesn't. And if I catch somebody, if I catch Joe Blow over here,
Mhm.
and I perceive it
Mhm.
as something, could you please not sit on that? It might break.
Sure, I can do that. He's pretty stable, but
I mean,
I'll
I don't
respect
know
your
why
wishes.
you would just sit on somebody's property without asking them, but what do I know?
But
But that's
Spend your
basically what I'm
American
saying.
income.
Is
Okay.
like if we all get together, if you're the best at something and you're just so happen to be black, and this kid's white and he's upset because he's not as good, then you're not as good, and that sucks.
Well, I didn't mention anything about whether you're the best at this or that. That's not even. I didn't even ask any of that. But okay. But here's the thing, though. How do we go about doing that?
I know. We need
But how
enough
come you
people to
haven't
do
been
that,
thinking
man.
about it then? How
I
come you
have
haven't
been
been
thinking
thinking-
about it a lot. I've been
Well,
talking
well,
about
well,
this in the flat Earth
Well, what
community for
solutions
years.
have you come up with then since you've been thinking about? I'm not trying to fuck with you. I'm being serious.
I am
What
too.
have you been? What solutions have you came up with now since you've been in this shit for 5 or 6
Mm-hmm.
years? What solutions have you come up with to bring people together? Because apparently the flat Earth stuff doesn't seem to be working.
Oh,
if
it
you're really
works.
about,
It
if you're
works.
really about bringing people unity to create
Like-minded
some sort of
people?
sovereignty country, whatever that means.
Like-minded people.
Why did your friends leave?
I don't know. You got stuff to do. I've been doing this
Got
by
stuff to
myself
do?
for years.
You know, Joshua,
Yeah.
you don't have any black or brown friends.
I don't.
Stop bullshitting.
Okay.
Stop bullshitting.
You're right.
But let me ask
the
you.
first girl
but-
I ever had a crush on
but let
wasn't
me-
black.
But let me ask you though. What
that's
does that have to?
different. Yeah.
What does that have to do?
You're
But let me
you're,
ask-
you're
but let me ask-
claiming that I have no.
What is a friend? But what is a friend? No, you tell me. What is a friend?
Somebody I can call and confide in and talk to and share
Yes.
my issues.
What
and-
about someone you respect?
Yeah. Somebody.
And not just someone who will support you? What about someone that
well,
you respect?
support is a huge thing. Because
comes
support-
more than one form of both being supportive of you in the things that you're wanting to do and calling you out for when you're wrong.
Yeah. So that's a friend, and I have friends like that.
And you will invite them over to your house or apartment or whatever.
Sure.
You know, and like kick it, chill out, talk about personal shit.
Yeah, I've hung out with
anything
some.
like that.
I've hung out with the people that were here earlier. We went to Canterbury Downs to watch the horse racing.
And were they black and brown folks, or were they mostly white?
Those were the two friends here.
All right,
white
they were white people. Okay, so they weren't black or brown. Okay, so they weren't
Yeah.
black or brown.
Do you have any white friends?
Oh yes, I do. I actually
Yeah.
do, and we actually I do talk to them about racism, and they do agree with me on the shit that I have to say, and they listen to me.
Do they just agree with you because you're black and they don't want to offend you, or they just
Oh,
agree with you?
you know what? That's a good question. They are uncomfortable at times,
Mhm.
but they say, you know what, Cody? Even though I'm uncomfortable with what you're saying, I'm still going to listen to you.
Mhm.
They do tell me that.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, and you can say that. Well, you can say that I'm lying. You know, you don't know that.
I
but
don't
for
want to
me
call you a
personally,
liar. I wouldn't say that you don't
No, no,
have
that's
something
fine,
because
but-
I
but
can't
no.
verify that.
Right,
Like you would
right.
say about me.
right? But so yeah, so we do have conversations like that. So I do have some white friends. You know, that I can actually call a friend.
Mm-hmm. Why is it that that is the topic that you always want to talk about?
Because here's the thing. The reason why I like bringing this shit up with white folks is because too many white folks, too many of you all have been so oblivious to racism. And
Doesn't that sound like condescending and disrespectful to say you all?
Well, it is a white person.
I mean, don't you want like us to be equal, and then you talk down to me like that?
A white
Doesn't sound
person
very
who
good.
wants to remain comfortable in their racism will say shit just like what you just said. So you are being a racist.
I'm doing the exact same thing that you
comfortable
expect.
being in you are comfortable being a racist, and what I'm telling you is, you don't have to be that.
I
and
don't.
see, when you say stuff like, well, I have black friends, but yet you can't.
I can't manifest the pictures, right?
I got
or evidence.
But you know what?
I just say stuff.
White folks who want to remain comfortable in their racism, they say shit like that.
Got it.
See, your black friends and your brown friends, they should
You
have been
claim
telling
that
you,
I don't have any though.
But you say you do, so I'm believing you. So you say you have black and brown.
But you don't know
friends.
anything about me, and you claim that I don't.
Well, you just told me, so I know a little bit about you. You just told me. So I'm agreeing with you that you do. So since that's the case, there would have been talking to you about this by now.
Because they think it's bullshit. Just
And
as
guess
much.
what? And guess what? They're perpetuating white supremacy too.
No, they're not. They just know that
They
there
are
are
because
government
they
agendas
are,
to
and they're
continually
making you
keep us
comfortable
separate.
as a white person. So
No.
that's what it is. And guess what? It doesn't take a you don't have to be a white person to perpetuate white supremacy. That shit, you don't have to. Because even with me, I've been mind fucked by white folks and white supremacy. So I'm having to change my thinking about not putting white folks on a pedestal and not thinking y'all the best people on the planet. I got the best genes. You know, that's all bullshit.
Don't you think that you've become a racist?
What is a racist?
I'm just asking a question.
No, a racist is someone
What's
who
a racist?
discriminates based off skin color.
Okay.
Basically.
You don't think you
If-
do that now? Even more so?
I can be a racist. Yeah, because guess what? Guess what?
So
Like,
you're telling me that I'm something that you are yourself, but I don't. This is interesting.
Yeah, because you know what I'm doing? I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I'm being
honest too.
That's what I'm saying, and I'm not trying to hide that. Oh no, I can never be racist. No bullshit. Yes, I can. Towards Asian people, towards anybody, and even and here's the difference though. Even with white people, but here's the thing: white people's racism is the most dominant because my ass can't put you in prison. I don't have a justice system that can dictate.
I can't put you in prison either unless you did something.
That can dictate. No, white people.
If you
in
break
general
the law,
can. White supremacy can, and you're part of that. But what I'm saying is
Part
that
of
there is no black.
you're so
supremacy.
disrespectful, and it's like
Of
beyond.
course,
It's
because I'm making
totally
you
like
uncomfortable.
beyond me. No, you're not.
Making you
You are the exact same thing that you have become.
Making you
You become what you hate. That's
making
the
you
term.
uncomfortable is why.
How
is
to
why you're
become
saying
what
that
you
I'm a
hate.
racist. I get that.
How
That's
to
white
become what you
fragility.
hate.
That's white fragility. I get that, but
You became what you hate,
But
man.
what I'm
That
saying
sucks.
is, I'm just being honest with me.
I'm being honest too. You
That's
became what you hate.
and I'm not bullshitting.
So
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, go
If
ahead.
we're talking about like, you've been, so I've been here,
Parker, nice to meet you.
Parker. I'm Peter Parker.
Parker.
Parker Seaman. I know.
Parker, see.
I'm Noah. Nice to meet you, Parker. Cody. I really respect what you've been saying. You're very
Joshua, it's good to see you again.
Hey, you too, man. How you been?
I'm good, not doing much.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So you've been talking a lot tonight. I've been here for like an hour and a half. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, thanks for spending all your time with all of our viewers.
Regardless, I'm happy to. Howdy. Nice to see you. However many you are. You've been talking a lot about indoctrination.
All around.
So I have been taught. So I am a white man. Grew up in Minnesota. I've been taught racism.
How
I
so?
live
Could you
with
give me
that.
a couple examples?
Our entire system is based on racism.
2 examples.
Black men are institutionalized at wildly higher rates.
Why is that?
Hold on, let me
Why
get
do you
through
go
this
to-
Okay, it doesn't matter. Can
Oh,
I,
okay,
can I,
so you don't go to jail for
So
breaking
you asked me
a
for
law.
examples.
Got it.
Like,
You don't go to
I-
jail for breaking a law.
I'm not going
You asked
to
for 2
explain
examples.
why. I'm not going to explain issues of race because I'm a white man. Okay, I don't have the. I have a certain privilege.
You don't have an opinion?
I have.
You're not allowed to have an opinion
Okay, so
regardless
can
of
I
whether it's
say
right or not?
what I started to say?
Actually, can I?
I was taught to be racist. I was indoctrinated by the system that all of us grew up in the United States to be racist. I have had to unlearn that. What Cody's been saying here about understanding what's going on around us and being comfortable admitting you're wrong and learning things, like every single person here has been indoctrinated into racism. Our system is racist.
I don't agree with that.
And personally, I have still ingrained racism in my fucking roots.
because of the government that I grew up in, because of the system, because of the system of white supremacy that I grew up in. And it's up to me to learn from that. You're talking about finding your own sources, about not believing the system. Racism is the system, and it's up to you to think independently and realize that people are people and people are being oppressed.
Cody,
And
No, continue.
the white people are, white rich men are the ruling class. They have the power.
the richest. What do you know? What the two dominant races are in America that are the richest?
It ain't black folks.
It ain't white
Sure.
folks either.
What is it?
It's
It is white
Asian and
folks.
Indians.
No, it's white people.
You don't want
No,
to.
it's not.
It's
It's
white-
Indians. It's Indians.
No, it's white folks.
No, it's not. It's Indians.
Because guess what? Guess who runs the politics? White folks, predominantly.
The most-
Guess who own,
the most
guess
per- the most
guess
richest
who owns
people
most
in
of the
America are
corporations?
Indians.
Who owns the most corporations? White folks.
Mhm.
And there's maybe a few people of color here and there.
So what's your suggestion, Cody? What do you want done? Do you just want to get rid of all the white people?
Well, no, I don't want to get rid of all the
Why
white
not?
people.
Why not? You would get rid of your problem.
What I want to do, what I want to do is, what I want to see.
What's your
happen
final
is-
solution?
What I want to see. Well, one of the solutions.
Okay, that's a fucking turn with baggage, motherfucker.
Hold on. Hold on. Just
Calm
one
down,
second.
please.
One of the
what
things.
you're saying.
One of the things that I want for white folks to do as a whole, because I already know some white folks are doing it, and he's working on his shit. He's working on his shit too. You know, regardless, the level, whatever. They're listening and they're acknowledging, and despite how uncomfortable they are feeling or maybe feeling, they're at least going through this shit, and they know that there's a problem with how black and brown people or non-white folks are being treated equally compared to white folks. So they're working on this shit as an individual and talking to other white people like you yourself right now. That's what I like to see happening, but not. So they are. So not only have they been listening and been thinking, but they're putting that shit into action. That's what these two folks are doing right now and doing their own research. So that's what they're doing, and they're talking to you right now as another white person. That's what they're doing, and that's one of the ways of dismantling white supremacy. And me as a black person, that's been taught that white people are the best. You know, y'all motherfuckers got the best genetics and all that bullshit. It ain't true.
That's a line.
Exactly. That is something that I'm deprogramming in my head, and I'm literally am trying to look at everybody. We're not trying to, but I know all of us are human, and we all deserve mutual respect amongst all of us, despite how we look like and despite how we think or whatnot. We think differently, but how we look, despite, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm seeing right now. So the solution, one of the solutions that I'm talking about,
sorry to
is
disappoint.
happening right now. It's happening. It's happening right now in front of your own eyes.
So it's a
And
progress.
So
it's a work in progress.
It is a work in progress. And
So
I'm not
what do
saying,
you
and I'm
hope
not,
to
and I'm not
see?
saying, and I'm not saying that this shit is going to be over with by tomorrow, no, or the next few years.
By the time
This
you're
shit is
40,
this
what do
shit
you
is gonna
expect to
take
see?
time. This shit may never fully happen in my lifetime period, but guess what?
It would
the
on my
seeds,
flat Earth.
the seeds that's been planted, the seeds that's been being planted right now amongst your ears, and that's going into your head right now. And I know you'll never forget this incident right here, what you made. But despite that, the solution that is planting these seeds for us to act, to talk and to act. And that's what's going on right now. Now, it's up to you. It is up to you as a white man to, despite how uncomfortable, despite how much disagreement you have amongst what I'm saying, because I know you disagree with what we're saying. I already know that. So, despite your disagreements, I'm encouraging you to be like, you don't have to think this way or act like this when it comes to racism. What you're doing right now, that's what I'm expecting you to do with other people of color, with other black folks, is to listen to what they have to say. What you're doing right now, that's what you're doing. So you're doing what I'm wanting you to do right now is hear me out. You can disagree, but I want you to
Sure,
ask
I get the
yourself.
same
But
thing,
I
man.
want to ask. But you need to ask yourself, why do you disagree with what I'm saying? why would black people, why would I be lying about racism and all this bullshit? What benefit do we get out of that? Because if it's to go to, well, black folks they just want free shit. They just want to remain the victim. It's like, for one, we don't want to remain victims. And if it was really, and if we really wanted to as black people, we could have outed and killed and shot a whole bunch of and slaughtered a whole bunch of white folks, and it would have been another civil war, quote
That's
unquote.
a fantastic point.
And say if the white
So it's
people,
always
hold
about
on,
violence. Why does it always
hold
come
on,
back to violence?
Joshua,
What's the right way to protest?
Hold on, and
A boycott.
and say that white people came out on top. Say that white folks killed off most of the black people and all the other people of color. Then what? Because guess what? White folks for so long have not been able to hold their own civilizations without some form of people of color, without going to some
Without oppression.
white folks, black folks, or oppress some black and brown people. White folks have, for the most part, even during the Renaissance era, back in the Dark Ages, because they were called the Dark Ages, blackamoors or the Moors gave white motherfuckers back then information on soap, how to build cities, mathematics,
right.
all
That's
of
right.
that stuff.
Way long ago, we
So
know
basically, basically, black people and people of color are way more ancient than white folks. So what I'm saying is, how can white people be able to stand as a group of people without the rest of the world?
I
And
guess
that's been
we'll
the
find
history of white folks having to go to black folks and brown people for help on damn near, I ain't gonna say everything.
That's
but
the idea,
civilization.
but I'm
That's
not
what,
obligated to believe
a lot of
history
people
though
want.
either. You know, I mean, people want to believe their narrative because it sounds good to their narrative, but
Can we just
how
replace that with
how can I
mine?
verify?
But-
How can I verify anything that happened 100 or before years ago?
But you asked me about the solution. Or
Yeah.
one of the solutions. That's happening right now.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Fair.
right
So,
now.
what do you expect?
Yeah,
What do you hope to
black
see
people
2
that
years
know
from
what's
now?
going on with the agenda, right? You
Well,
know
where
that
are
we're
they?
divide and
Where
conquer.
are they? Where
Well,
are
you-
the black people at?
You don't see them because you're tuning into the other sources.
Well, how do you know what I'm
I'm
tuning
trying to
into?
tune into
Well,
you right
because
now.
I'm
Because
hearing,
I don't listen to mainstream media.
You don't listen to it.
No, I don't.
Okay, you might not, but you went through the
No, I
school
don't.
system.
No.
You've heard
Yeah, I've
some
gone- and it's
people even out on
bullshit.
the street. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and it's bullshit, and I get that.
Yeah.
But I'm not. But
But
I
you
don't.
know about George Soros.
Oh my goodness. Oh shit.
You always got a buzzword when it gets tough.
So what is that?
All of us
Right.
have agreed. Government's bullshit, they're lying. Education system's bullshit's lying.
What's
We all agree about
What's
that.
Really
Okay.
interesting is
Okay.
we're all like, fuck the government, fuck all of this shit, but we've
Exactly.
all come to different conclusions.
Conclusions?
What it comes down to me, what I feel like is the fundamental difference is who's getting fucked right now.
Everyone, except for the powers that.
Not
I mean,
everyone.
Bullshit.
Not
It
every
ain't everyone.
people that know
Bullshit.
what's going on
Is that
aren't
you?
completely.
And you have to be
Well,
more specific
same.
about who. You have to be more
Right.
specific about who's being fucked, how they're being fucked.
Yeah,
'Cause see,
yeah.
I'm seeing
It's,
everybody.
I don't like that word.
That
either.
doesn't get to the root causes. That's just like trying to ignore the issue.
What would be a
There's
better
a lot
word?
of different things
I'd be happy
going
to
on.
say it with a better
and
word.
It's all working together,
Like what?
right?
Like what? Different things like what? You got to be
I
specific.
don't want to get into it. The,
Well,
all
I mean, no.
the agendas.
Well,
you
you're
know
out
about
here.
them?
You're out
I
here
know
to
I am.
explain to us.
You're
So
literally
I'm
here
having
to-
a conversation with you. When you say like,
It's taking a while.
what are the different things? You got to explain this, because if we don't,
Okay.
because here's the thing.
COVID. Wait.
Go ahead.
COVID. Black Lives
What,
Matter.
what do you think about
See,
critical
see,
race
all of
theory?
it. Critical race
Make
theory.
sure to
We've been
say-
talking
Everything
about
that's
it.
going
Say
on.
more
It's the
buzzwords
powers
as a
that be.
valid
Yeah,
counterargument.
buzzwords.
And those
You were
are,
told that by certain social media influencers.
Okay, do you have
The
background
That's
or
what
do you
you're
just have
listening to.
more phrases?
Background. And you look into the sources.
What
okay?
sources? Like,
You can
describe
match
to me
it
the
and you'll
sources
Figure it out.
against critical
So-
race theory.
see, now I gotta ask.
You know?
There's-
You can't.
What's
Yeah,
that?
Now
The
I gotta
acad-
ask you.
Did
do
you
you
land
know
on the
what
moon,
Black
sir?
Lives Matter stands for?
No, I
What is their
didn't.
mission?
So
in
why
this,
would
in
I
this
believe
society
it?
right now? What is Black Lives Matter mission right now?
Yeah, sir.
Tell
have a
me.
nice night.
Do
Believe
you know
me,
what? Do
anything
you know?
else
Do you know what
that
they
you can't
stand
verify
for?
I know
yourself.
that they have. I know it's funny like this.
No. I didn't ask you that. I asked you. No.
Yeah, but
I
that's-
asked
that's
you.
what it is.
What is their mission?
it's
What is
Yahtzee.
their
It's
mission?
to get
Yahtzee?
people
Yeah, so you've heard
fooled
of
So
into
you don't know.
believing that
You
they
don't
know.
don't have. Yeah.
No,
Hold
you
on.
don't.
Hold on.
I'll tell you. I can tell
Yeah, I do.
No,
I
you-
do.
that's
Divide
not
and
what-
conquer.
That's not. You're not even answering the question.
Unity.
Okay.
You're not answering
supposed to be
what
peer-to-peer
Black Lives
Okay.
Matter stand, because I read their
I
mission
would say
statement
take a look at
on their
Yeah.
website.
Yeah.
I already knew what they
Did
stood
you ever
for, but I know
rock
it's
thing?
a bigger picture. Basically,
I've
I've heard
it's
you. I've
basically
read
hold on.
other things.
No, you have because you would have told me. So
It's-
what they
it's-
no,
so
it's
what Black
only
Lives
video
Matter
platform.
stands for
Oh, yeah,
is
one of them.
dismantling
It's supposed to
white
be
supremacy,
Then
white institutional
they shoot
racism. The
in
government
terms of,
is
like,
part of
free
that, of
speech and
course.
stuff like that.
The
You have
government
to
is
pay
part of that,
$10
of
a
course.
month.
Okay,
The
that's
part
the
that we
narrative.
agree
Okay,
on.
The one part that we agree
Okay,
on.
that's the narrative.
So that is
I
I'm
haven't
telling
gotten
you
The whole
that is
thing.
what Black Lives Matter stands
The
for.
over all-encompassing thing is set up by the powers
That is not
be.
what that is. That is
Yeah,
you
it
can't
is.
you can't you
What are
can't
the
you
powers
can't
that be?
prove that. You cannot prove that.
White
That is not
man
true.
in your own
You
property.
can't prove any of that.
So,
So,
have you talked about this?
What's your name, man? What's your
I
name?
don't want to say it.
What's up, man?
Huh?
I don't want to say it. It's on video.
Yeah, just
You don't want to say
Never
your
cross
name.
your-
Why not? Why
You
not?
can't
video
deny
you,
outer
but you're
space isn't
video.
real.
I told you my
Once
name.
again.
I told you my name.
That
So
wasn't-
why
Well,
well,
I
anyway,
research
on
despite
camera.
that,
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
white
What
people
were
who
your
want
conclusions?
to remain comfortable in their racism,
Yeah.
they will say stuff like
What is
that.
it that
What
you
you're
can
saying
verify?
right now.
I can
By
verify that I'm
ignoring
on
what Black
this
Lives
plane
Matter and what
I
other
can see
people
on
of
this
color
plane.
are
Yeah, fair
doing.
enough.
Now
I
here's
don't
the
believe that
here,
there's the racism
What else
that
are you
they're
into?
saying, the narrative.
Comment all
but
that.
do you
I
believe
don't
do you know
Right
racism
on.
exists right now?
What's your favorite right now? Are you into
Kinda,
something
women-
new
no,
that
so-
you never
so
come across
basically-
and you're into it right now?
Whatever your name is,
They're-
let me
they're
tell you.
over-
Let me tell you.
Well, I just got my
You're trying to
YouTube,
make
thing
people
here and like a little
something.
pamphlet.
But here's the thing, though,
You
ma'am.
can check
what
out
you're
my
doing
other
right
stuff
now-
from a long time
Well,
ago.
you
It's
understand
on
your name, so I'm
Authentic
respecting
Intent.
you're older than me, so I'm calling you man.
I have an archive
You want to
on
remain
YouTube
comfortable
because my channel got deleted.
in racism.
Authentic Intent
and I bet
Archive,
you,
and it's
you
got all
don't
my
have any
previous
black or
videos
brown
and
friends.
stuff.
But
I just
here's
feel
the
like
thing.
this is really
But here's the
important
thing,
because you know, there's a lot of
because
really cool
it doesn't matter.
conspiracies
Your
and you know
proximity
things
of
that
white
we
folk- I mean,
believe
your proximity of
personally
black folks,
about things that
your
are going
proximity of
on,
black folks does not equate to
agendas,
love to
you know,
black
things
folks
that we
or
identify
brothers.
with.
No, it
But
doesn't.
the majority of the
No,
public
no.
believes that those things are happening on a ball earth.
So me having a
So there are
Asian-
two
me having an
dichotomies
Asian
there.
friend
I think
means
everything is
that I'm
happening
not
on a
racist
flat
towards
level
Asians.
plane like this
That's what you're
table,
saying.
and it goes on infinitely forever
But
horizontally.
man, what I'm trying to tell
And other
you
people
is-
believe that Earth
what I'm
is a
trying to- You
ball,
won't tell me your name,
and
so I'm just going to call
you know all the
ma'am.
different things that you do throughout your day are happening on a ball Earth, and outer space is real.
You can believe this
Are you Nathan?
all you want
Joshua.
to. But you
Yeah.
cannot say that you're not a
Yeah.
racist
So
when you bring up stuff like Jeff
just try to
Bezos.
challenge
I'm
and
not
have
Jeff
some
Bezos,
critical thought, you know, and
George
maybe some
Soros.
your own personal
Y'all are very
inquisitiveness.
anti-man.
That's
good.
Y'all,
Yeah.
you are anti.
In 1927, they displayed a spinning ball
You are
Earth
anti-people
at the
of
movie
color.
theaters. In 1927, did we have technology to go to outer space?
Let's move on. Let's talk about.
So how did they know that the Earth was a ball before we even did it?
Now why?
It's called predictive programming. So they were predictively programming the masses, which is
Because
typical
you're not
25
because
years.
you know
Is
how I
typically
know how I know
the
that.
length that
You
it
know how I
takes to
know
get a
that.
civilization
Because
to
you're
change
not
from
having
one concept to
conversations
another.
about their oppression of them
Understand
living in
that.
this
Yeah.
country.
So
See,
now
you was
everybody
really
believes
their
they live
friend,
here,
you'd be like,
and
you
then I
know what,
ask people
disagree
why,
with
and usually it's because of
racism
pictures
and all
from outer
this,
space
but,
or somebody else
but
did
explain to
something.
me, do you have conversations?
No,
It's not
do you
really
have
anything that they
conversations
do.
with them about race?
So-
Do you have conversations
Just try to,
with
you
them
know,
about racism?
Bring
Do you?
out
Do you
a
have-
person,
Why
you know,
not?
why they
Why
believe
not?
what
Why
they
not?
believe, I guess. You know,
Why
the
not?
point of this.
Why not?
Because a lot of
Why
us,
not?
we believe what
Go
we
ahead.
believe because other people or
No, I'm
school
saying right
and
here.
what we were taught when we
right
were
here.
really young, and we just never
So now you're being a
challenged that
coward.
again.
You're out here talking to people about flat Earth, and you're being and you're being courageous doing this.
So why don't you want to say this stuff?
Why don't you believe? Why aren't you comfortable saying your beliefs?
That's kind of crazy. Like you guys are.
You guys
out
live in the
here
area?
trying to
Yeah, just a few blocks away.
things, but
I haven't lived over here for years.
That is being a
I bounce
coward.
back and forth between here and
This is
Denver.
it. Okay, you live in Denver?
I did.
Okay.
That doesn't make you not
Yeah.
racist.
Every
I love
fucking
you.
racist
Yeah.
says they have black
And you don't
friends.
have to be
I
racist
lived here in
anymore.
Minneapolis, born
You
and
need to talk
raised.
to your so-called black friends
But
about
I went to
racism. You
Denver
don't
a
have to
couple
be
of
that way.
times. My foster
You can do
family
better.
owns
Walking away a
some,
second time.
a
Yeah,
house
that's what
out there
racists
and
do. They
some
run away
family.
from shit like this.
So twice a year we would drive out there.
Yeah, my stepdad blended family. My
I don't
stepdad's
mind getting
family was
sexual
from there, so
neither.
I would go out there. I spent a lot of time in their justice system as a kid.
Yeah.
I said,
Fair enough.
I know a lot about the Colorado system.
Yeah,
out
but
there.
you do, right? Yeah, I love the smell. That's the biggest thing that I take away from it. Is
Yeah.
like the smell and the atmosphere.
Nice.
It's really nice.
Colorado's beautiful. I
Yeah,
love
it's
the
great.
landscape out there.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it was a pleasure talking to you. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you
keep
too.
walking,
Yeah,
man.
take care, See you around.
I love your hair.
Yeah. So there you have it, everybody.
Did you actually?
What's up, D Live? 4 hours.
Okay, good.
I think we're gonna shut it down.
Listen to it, but I heard it.
Cody's having a good time. Punch Nazis. They get to classify who's a Nazi and who's not. I forgot to change the title of that video that I started.
But Joshua,
Hey, what's up, man?
it was a pleasure in a way talking with you.
It's always good, Cody. I don't.
And
mind.
but I'm encouraging that your black and brown friends that you do have, talk to them about as another black man. Talk to them about racism, despite your disagreements, because you'll learn something. But I'm telling you,
I always
this,
learn something, man.
But I'm telling you this: if you want to continue to be oblivious with it, they're not your friends. You can't say that they're your friends because you want to remain comfortable being a racist. They're not your friends. So, but anyway, you
all
take
right,
care.
man. Take care. What's up, man?
What's up? What are all these like different diagrams?
Yeah, these are documents from the government, NASA, and whatnot that say they test their flying apparatuses over a flat, non-rotating Earth. An assumption of a fixed Earth. What's fixed mean?
Well, to my knowledge, it means not moving.
Don't they tell us that the Earth is moving, though?
Yeah.
Spinning?
Yeah.
15 degrees per hour?
I don't know about that, but
I do. Do
Whatever it
you believe that
is.
you live there?
I do actually. Yeah.
So much so that you'd be able to answer 3 basic 5th grade questions about the Earth?
You know, I'm not really well versed in this kind of, dialogue.
You're a human, though. You have a
Yeah.
soul, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, you have feelings,
Yeah.
right?
Does that have anything to do with me knowing about the Earth, though?
It will have a meaning when you know the truth, and then you can stand fast on the truth.
I guess, do you want to maybe ask me these questions just
Yeah.
so I can see what they are?
How many times does the Earth rotate in one day?
It rotates one time per
One
day.
time, okay. So what is the circumference of the Earth?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
So if you did know, what you would find is that the Earth has a measurement, and it's been measured by the government, allegedly. At 3959 is the radius. So as you see, you're always at the tangent. That's what they teach us when we're young. You're always on the top of the ball. And so at a distance of 1,000 miles away, you should have curvature drop. Because the Earth is a ball, right?
1,000 miles away. Where
Yeah.
are we looking from?
Yeah, so, well, you're looking this way. So if we're just looking this way,
You can't see 1,000 miles, though.
well, just hold on.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So if we're just looking straight this way, right, and we put a ruler that can go 1,000 miles, that ruler will look like this because the Earth is a ball. So it will extend out,
Sure.
right?
Okay.
Okay. So let's make that increment smaller and let's go to 30 miles. So 30 miles that way,
Yeah.
there should be 600 feet of curvature drop.
Really?
Yeah, so that means 30 miles that way. If there's a building that's 500 feet tall, should we be able to see it?
When you put it that way, no.
No.
But the one thing is, you can't see 30 miles. You can only see a maximum of about maybe like 9 or 10.
3? With your eyes,
Yeah.
over body water, right?
Yeah.
And that's always alleged. The horizon is alleged. It's not a measurement that you can go to.
No. No.
It changes every day.
Yeah,
It
it's
does.
The horizon of your eye, what you can see,
Yeah.
and with the dimensional atmospheric pressures.
And so the
all
great
that
thing
kind of
now
thing,
is we
so-
have really cool cameras, like the P1000, for example. It has 125 zoom. And it's different than any other camera because it's an optical zoom, and you can draw the whole image
Yeah.
in. And so 30 miles away, you can use that camera and you can see things further away.
Right. But are we doing it from sea level, or are we doing
Yes.
it from? Yeah.
We're doing
Because
it from the ground.
yeah. Well, you won't be able to see anything 30 miles away on sea level. You have to be at some sort of elevation.
Even with the camera zooming back in after
Yes.
it's gone away from your perspective.
Yes. Can you see 30 miles across the lake there?
Not when it's it's foggy and smoke
Sure,
out
sure, it's
there.
foggy and there's trees over there, but
Yeah.
if there weren't any trees, imagine if we were in North Dakota, right?
Mm-hmm.
Flat plains. You can't see 30 miles. You have to be at some sort of elevation in order to see that distance.
How high do you have to be to see curvature then?
Well, I don't know.
You know,
It's-
doesn't
it's
the
some
Earth have to curve?
Well, it's some sort of elevation. I don't know what it is, but
Even at 125,000 feet, 20 miles, there's no curvature.
have you ever been in a plane?
Still, 120,000 feet higher than 40,000 feet?
Yeah.
So even with a university that launches a high altitude balloon, not using a fisheye lens, they show a flat level horizon
What
as the
university
camera.
is that?
I'd have to bring it up. It was like 6 years ago.
That would be really cool to see. Yeah.
Type it in. I mean, you can look it up yourself. Flat Earth, or a high altitude balloon, flat Earth, non-fisheye lens, or something like that.
Was it a U.S. university or?
Yeah, it was a U.S. university.
Okay.
And it was before flat Earth became a thing. And so
Interesting.
they have high altitude balloons that have just regular cameras like we have, not GoPro fisheye lens, and it shows the entire horizon, horizontal, no curve. So people say that they see curvature at on an airplane, but even mainstream science says that you can't see curvature at that height.
I would love to go up to that height and see all the curvature.
I would love to see the Earth from that height also with my own eyes,
Yeah.
because that majesty of the size of the Earth is infinite.
Yeah.
So, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Is this blood on the globe?
It's ink.
Oh, okay. Like, wow,
It's
you
been
guys,
shedded with my blood.
you guys get aggressive here.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice.
So with you guys believing that the Earth is flat, do you believe that there's an edge or something, or what exactly is
Look really?
the general shape of it? Like,
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that you say the edge, because every single person says that same exact thing. So it kind of leads me to the direction that we were all programmed these responses, as if to say this may be a topic later on in life.
I don't know if it's programmed versus just all the flat Earth theories coming out and all the information surrounding that. That's kind of like the general consensus in a way.
Honestly,
Yeah.
the most important thing on this table is that nobody should be getting their COVID-19 vaccination.
Yeah,
That's
right.
a completely different argument.
Exactly.
I can get real deep on
It's
that.
kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's kind of like I subverted the topic.
My
and
mother,
said-
I'll tell you this, my mother is a master's degree educated science teacher. Her mother was a biology professor and her grandfather was a scientist at the U of M. And when they came to her school in North Dakota to give out the vaccine, her and the other science teacher in their K through 12 country school were the only two people to not get it. The two fucking science
Isn't that
professionals in the
interesting?
building. She texts me and she goes, my girlfriend, my fiance, she's in school to be a teacher. And even she texts me and asks, she's like, what are your guys' thoughts on this? And I said, listen, I'm not going to fucking take a vaccine from companies that have never been approved to give a vaccine before. Moderna has never been approved to make a vaccine before.
Something
this.
that was rushed
Pfizer.
9 months.
Pfizer rushed in 9 months when it takes at least 3 to 4 years for trial 1
Yeah,
studies.
right.
Yeah.
Give me
Yeah.
a break. That's
Go
why.
ahead,
That's
go
my
ahead.
sign right there. That's why the sign in front of by your knees there.
What happens when it doesn't get authorized? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
It won't. It won't. They'll just continue to push the boosters
No,
on people.
because
and-
it's
yeah.
literally just about profits for that sector.
Do you think though, like, I still think that's the kind of the final shoe to drop, because I think they might authorize it, because it will incentivize other people, even those who are saying, hey, what's up, man?
Hey, man.
Flat Earth.
You bet.
That people would get it then.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be incentivized to get into a lottery to get $1 million or free tickets to, Valley Fair.
Your donut poisons.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But if they do authorize it, even the fringe people that are kind of like, you know what, I'm not going to get it, but then now it's authorized, I'll get it. Maybe. I would
You're
love
not
it
gonna
if they didn't, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I would love it because it would literally be an I told you so.
Yep.
Yeah.
It would verify that all of the heart problems that children are having who have gotten it, this is a serious issue.
I
and
just
it
never
should be.
thought it was necessary in the first place because of the survival rate of this.
Right.
You know?
I was up northern Minnesota this weekend and I saw a family walking into a fast food restaurant, parents and 2 kids. The only 2 people wearing the mask were the children. You have the highest rate of survival and the
know.
lowest rate of infection, but your kids are wearing the mask.
Yeah.
You guys are smart.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is challenging to come out here and try to focus on something that's positive. I think Flat Earth
Sure.
is positive, personally.
It's expanding the educational conversation. That's the positive aspect of
It tries to like provoke thought and give you an idea of,
Sure.
oh, outer space, planets? No, aliens are actually just here on Earth, just more land
The term
that they're hiding from us.
conspiracy theory is it was clearly created by a mass to discredit large groups of people that
Yeah.
have an idea that's different than what
Yeah.
they're trying to produce.
Right.
And I hate the term, but it's a very popular one, so I'll use it for this context.
Yeah.
Introduction to conspiracies really opens up an individual's mind to look into other things in their daily life that they may see as what we're talking about as program taught to you.
Yeah, they wouldn't just blindly accept things. They would
Yeah.
kind of look into stuff.
Yeah. Well,
like,
think
like
about it
people
like
say,
this.
waking up is a terrible process.
Think about it like this real
All right,
quick before you go. The reason why there are two types of groups, conspiracy and non-conspiracy, is because if you just have all the information in just one book where everybody just gets to read it, then nobody can interpret anything. They interpret it by calling it something, so then you have to pick a side.
Yep.
And those who pick the esoteric side or the exoteric side are the ones who wake up and don't wake up, because they see the veneer and they say, hey, that's great, I'll accept it. But then you have the other people who say, I see the veneer, but I want to see what's behind that, because I see a little crack. I see a spot where they didn't get all the paint to make it look like that's a leaf, and I can see behind it.
Yeah, I mean,
And so-
honestly, everyone should be looking for those cracks.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way that you can really expand your own knowledge. Because to a certain point, like within schooling and whatever, you get the basics of, whatever they call education. But as you venture into adulthood, you should be kind of looking to expand
For sure.
beyond whatever you were taught in school.
Asking questions.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at this though. So think of this: the Romans back in like 2,000 years ago, they created a religion, wrote a book, and said this is the true gospel. Yet through the last 2,000 years, we've had how many Protestant religions come off of Christianity? No matter what you do, the masses won't accept the truth. But hey,
Hey,
this is a
Joshua?
great conversation, Joshua.
Yeah, pleasure,
Dennis,
guys.
good to
Dennis,
meet you.
Hey, hope to see you guys again.
Yeah, if you
Take
guys
care.
are out here, we'll find you.
I hope so.
Okay.
Alrighty then. All right, folks.
All right, time to pack it up.
Have a nice night.
Time to wrap it up, folks.
Wrap it up. All right, let's go home.
Wrap it up, B.
I got no life. You want some help holding up that table?
No, I'm good, man, actually. I take care of everything myself.
All right.
It's just easier to pack up, Hope to see you guys again. I'll see you again, Cody, I'm sure. Good talking to you, man.
Right? I mean, let me ask you: is it?
Where are you living at?
is
Around
there
here?
Even, is it even worth me talking to you some more? Are you gonna learn? Are you gonna be open to what I have to say and think about it at least?
Yeah, I can hear
You
what
don't
you have
have
to say.
I mean,
Yeah.
not just hear me, but actually think about what I'm saying.
Mhm. What, do you want to get coffee, or you want to just come back out here when I'm here? You got a phone number or email or what?
Shit, I'm kind of skeptic about giving you my phone number, but I tell you what.
It's all right, man. I give my phone number out to people. I
Yeah,
can give you mine, and
mean,
you can call me.
Well, what is your phone number?
I can write it down. I got.
you wouldn't
the
say
screen.
it on video?
No, because the people who have my
I
phone
can-
number
can you-
have it.
Write
Can you-
down your
Yeah.
number and give it to me if you don't mind.
Can I ask where I can look up? You said you're live streaming, right?
Yeah, on DLive.
Can you show me like a link to go look that up?
Yeah.
I would love
Do you have the one of these?
that. Would that give me a...
Yeah, I can write it here.
So I've been on this a lot, and I'm comfortable in everything I've said.
Yeah, I am too. I just think that, I really want people to just kind of come together, like that little...
I don't think you really want people to come together.
I really do. That's why I do Flat Earth, man.
How do you want people to come together? For what?
Here's that.
Oh no,
This is for him.
Oh.
DLive. That's the DLive thing.
How do you want people to come together, Josh?
Just work together, man, so that we don't have
work
to be
together
dependent.
For what? I mean, how,
So we don't have to
how?
be dependent on McDonald's and Cub Foods making us our food.
You can't
But
come
how
back
do you
to
do
food
that,
when we're
Joshua?
talking about race, Joshua.
Yes, we can, because black people have great food. I have great food. Asians have great food. Mexicans have great food. We can all make our food together and come together and talk things over.
Like
the food and then dislike someone's
I can-
dignity
I
and
don't.
someone's rights.
Right.
You
But
can't-
I don't.
You can't like someone's food and then tell them they
Noah.
are less of a person.
Right, exactly. Like,
Noah, is that what I do? Do I not like somebody because of this or that and the other?
Well,
No,
you said,
you're-
you said BLM. You talked about
There you go.
It's really 50-50.
well,
You're
not Jeff
flip-flopping.
Bezos. Who was the other guy? George Soros.
I didn't bring up George Soros.
You know, Jews.
Yeah, you did.
So you don't like.
Well, the Jews are a problem.
So Joshua,
Okay, only in that we could use only the Jews are a problem as a definition of
thank you of racism. Thank
that.
you.
That's like if we ignored everything else you said,
Or
just
ethnicity,
that's
yeah.
good enough. You know, like there's so much else that you said.
Or
Yeah, I mean,
ethnicity
don't throw the
and
baby out with the
whatnot, too.
bathwater.
But Joshua,
Keep debating that's all you want.
you know, me personally, I don't think you really want to unite with other people. I think you're just saying these things just so you won't have to deal with the reality of not talking about racism and the realities that black people and brown people go through on a daily basis, which BLM, Black Lives Matter, have been trying to put out. So that's just my opinion.
Who started Black Lives
I'm
Matter,
not,
do you know?
It doesn't matter who started
Well, it does. A bunch of
but-
lesbians started it.
Well, who cares?
I'm not going to follow a bunch of
So
lesbians.
now you're being homophobic.
Hatred is
No,
hatred.
I'm not afraid of
So
homosexuals.
now you're being homophobic.
I'm not afraid of homosexuals.
How you just said, oh, it was some lesbians. So what if there were
Who said
lesbians?
fear?
That's
You
what.
did.
You know what? Phobia,
You're homophobic.
arachnophobia.
So you're
I'm not
homophobic.
afraid of homos like I'm afraid of
Well,
spiders.
you discriminate
Cody.
against LGBTQ plus people. You discriminate against them.
Yeah.
How you just
Because I
Oh,
don't.
wow.
I'm not going to
You just-
be.
well, you
I'm not
just
going to
admitted it.
join a group of
Well,
a
he
bunch
at
of
least admitted it.
homosexuals.
That's very refreshing for you to admit your hatred.
It's not
Exactly.
hatred.
You've
Yeah,
why
it
would I
is.
join?
avoiding
Why
it
would
this
I?
whole
Why?
fucking time.
Thank
It's
you.
refreshing
Thank
for
you.
you
Why
to
would I-
admit that you hate.
I didn't hate.
Yes, you do. You
You're-
hate
you're implying-
LGBTQ plus people. You hate black people.
I hate them because I don't want to join their group. that doesn't make any sense.
People. I know, but you
doesn't
say
make
you
any
have black
sense.
friends. You don't have black friends.
don't
Cut
have
the
black
bullshit, Josh.
Yeah,
You don't have
right.
black
Yeah, you're
friends.
right. You're
you don't
right.
have brown friends.
Nope.
You don't have any people
I
of
don't have
color
any
friends.
friends.
If they were genuinely your friends, you
They would be out
talking
here.
about- You'll be
out here.
listening. You'll
Yeah,
be out
that's a
here.
good damn
And
point.
Not
You
no,
said it.
not just be out here, but you will be listening to them about anything that they have to talk about racism or whatnot. If it concerned them, if it didn't concern them, okay, I can. You know, that's another thing. But if
But it
they ever
doesn't.
wanted to, but hold on, if they ever came to you about, hey, I'm going through something happened to me, it was based on race, would you listen to them?
Yes, of course.
Would you not only listen to them, but would you think about what they said and be like, damn, that's fucked up. You know,
I don't know if I would say that.
Oh
Okay,
my
so
goodness.
there's been a panel
they're
of
not-
black people in front of you who've
so
lived
they're-
this shit and you've not been listening.
So they're not your friends, Joshua. You don't have
What
any
do you-
black
why?
friends. I know you don't have no black friends.
Okay.
But if you but I'll
fair.
tell you what, if you still want me, you can still give me your number.
I did.
And,
It's up to you to use it. I
Okay,
can, as
thank
long
you.
as you can talk and hear my side of the story,
but
and not
That
like
goes both ways.
it goes both ways.
it goes. You're right. It does go both ways.
But I know
You're
some of
right.
your- but I already know some of your story is going to be racism doesn't exist. I don't
Is it?
believe this shit exists because black people are yada yada yada. I already know that's what's going to happen. So that's
Are
your
you sure?
side of the story. Well, why
Come
don't
on,
you give
Cody.
me a
I've
glimpse
been
right
listening to you
now?
for
Well, why don't you
up to
give me
2
a
hours,
glimpse
man.
right now since you're about to pack up? Just give me a little bit of that right now, then.
About what? Like
About
what?
your story about black people and brown people.